welcome to the Blizzard Arena.
And the quest for a champion begins today.
The anticipation has been building, and it is finally time. We are live.
Are you ready?
That is a really...
Can you get over the roof there?
Oh my.
Oh my,
what a play, what a grab!
Another jump here on the high ground. Super goes forward, but gets stuck up. The EMP comes in, and ding, he rains down hell from above.
Here comes Pine. Gets one, gets two. Looking for a bit more, gets another one.
Tuno's down again. That heralds disaster generally for the Fusion, and Carpe wasn't far behind. Prophet! He's killed 4 players now on his own.
From Vancouver, locks him in the sound barrier. Sound is huge. The bomb coming in from Jono. Oh my God! He does it again.
Flutter now moving onto the Widowmaker, taking the clutch into his own hands. The headshot after headshot after headshot.
Okay, I like this for the Gladiators. We're going to try and circle around. I'm going to call this the merry-go-round because it makes me laugh, makes me happy, and Sean Paul switches to the Widowmaker at just the right time.
Oh, Raven!
What in the Lord's name is that?
That's so good. Oh, yes, he goes well.
I'm the best Tracer in the world.
Oh, my word!
I mean, you could have told me that you spoke English, honestly.
The fans never thought they'd see this day. It took 43 matches. Feels like a really emotional moment here.
Sorry.
All right. So we're gonna start with Star Wars Outlaws in my low effort reactionary cons for a little bit, and then we're gonna talk about the Acolyte and maybe other stuff. Mostly, it's gonna be Star Wars and gaming being a crap. So let's react to this.
The disaster known as Star Wars Outlaws continue. If only there was someone who warned you ahead of time. If only there was someone that could say, they told you so. Oh, that's right. That would be me. It was me, Austin. It was me, all.
We all said it was going to be terrible. It was going to be a problem. And charging $110 did not help that case. It was going to be awful. We all knew it. We said so. And we got laughed at. And who's laughing now?
All along. Ubisoft has asked a bunch of Star Wars Outlaws PS5 players to install an update and restart their save files from scratch.
Of course, the patch 1 update strikes again.
Due to the game-breaking bugs. If you continue on a prior save, you will unfortunately face issues and progression blockers. Players paid $110 for early access. That is right. This is what you get right here when you buy into the nonsense. And I told you, the moment that you see identity politics at the forefront of any project, whether it's video games, movies, television, you have to understand that everything else is going to be sacrificed. Story, quality, bug testing, just anything in general. Like, they don't care.
One of the worst parts is the character model. The one that the actual character model is beautiful, where this is not. I mean. Yes. Oh, here we go. That's not right. Bear with me for, okay. Oh, that's better. Okay, here we found it. Open. Yeah, this is this is the, yeah, she looks terrible. And this is what she looks like in real life. And then you compare her to, I mean, even this picture, I guess. I mean, how could you do this? That to this. What? Okay. Moving on. Back to the tab.
They do not care. The only thing they care about is the virtue signaling that goes into it. This is why it's always a red flag. Every single time you see that at the forefront, it is a red flag. IGN says Ubisoft gives annoyed Star Wars Outlaws players who paid to play early but lost all progress a trinket and some loyalty points no one wants. Following this week's Star Wars...
Oh yeah, the final model looks even worse than one of the other models. Like, if you take a look here, I guess that I mean, it just looks. How does this look better? I mean, it's not really a high bar, but it all looks bad. I don't understand.
Star Wars Outlaws update that forced some early access players to restart the game. Ubisoft has offered a make good, an in-game trinket, and some loyalty points. In wake of releasing the update, Ubisoft warned PlayStation 5 players that they might have encountered issues with their current save if they were playing an older version of the game. The solution is to
Of course. An older version of the game.
start a new save. Here's Ubisoft's initial message and blah, 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 blah. Players complained that they were forced into losing hours of progress through no fault of their own. A loss made all the worse by the fact that it occurred during Star Wars Outlaws early access period, which was reserved for those.
So this was only for the people who bought for early access, and not. So only if you paid money to get early access. Not. It's not. It wasn't even released yet. It wasn't even released.
Those who paid more than $100 for the gold edition. I will say it is your fault. It's your fault for actually buying into this.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't Ubisoft, I maybe would feel a little bit bad, because you are, at the end of the day, you are paying over $100 for a game you probably like, but it's Ubisoft, so you should expect. I mean, it's been that way since Assassin's Creed Unity had a big bug problem. They should expect Ubisoft to have bug problems, and also, I think it's just a lesson. Don't buy early access games, or don't pre-order. There's a reason why most people have a no pre-order. We have a no pre-order thing, because there's a chance. Yeah, it's only on the PS5 at the end of the day, but still, it's doesn't make it any better. It's like, and that's a next gen console, so it should play perfectly fine, but apparently not.
Bullshit. It's your fault for not paying attention. It's your fault for trusting Ubisoft. It's your fault for trusting.
Yeah. Outside the political part, just trusting Ubisoft in general, not a good idea.
Star Wars, Lucasfilm. It's your fault for not recognizing that anything that is designed with identity politics at the forefront is always going to have these problems. Always. There's this video from RGT85, and listen to what he has to say right here.
However, you have to remember something. If you got the super deluxe expensive version of Star Wars Outlaws, you got early access to the game. So you might have stayed up all night playing for 5 or 6 hours of the game, and now you're finding out, oh, your save file's corrupted. We need you to update your save file.
As someone who's had played a game with a corrupted save file, it's not a fun feeling. But, and then they're like, hey, you can just update the game. It's like, then why? It's not going to make it any better. You're just going to be mad all around. I usually don't buy a game till I hear I mean, I would only trust Nintendo, or I guess the East, for actually good games. And still I would wait for word of mouth before considering buying it. I don't really care about Monster Hunter either. I mean, Monster Hunter has pronouns in it, I think. I don't really know. And I never played Monster Hunters except a demo, so I don't really have an opinion on it.
Did anybody bug test this game? Did you put all the money into the marketing for this game and you were just like, well, we'll just throw it out there? Fingers.
No, nobody bug tested this game. Nobody. Pay attention to what I've been saying. Nobody cared about the quality of this game. When this game was introduced, it was introduced with representation and diversity at the forefront, which no game, no show, no TV show, no movie, none of that should ever be at the forefront of the reason it was created. If a game is diverse, because that's how it worked out based on the story you're trying to tell, totally fine. If the game ends up evolving into that, if the movie evolves into that, or if you have a story that you want to tell, that's fine. But when your sole reason for creating a project and then marketing the project and then understanding that even if we get any criticism, all we have to say is that the fan base is racist and toxic, whenever that's at the forefront, no, there's no bug testing going on.
I mean, it doesn't work nowadays. You can't attack the fans and it go down well. We've noticed attacking the fans doesn't work anymore. It might have worked back in 2014, but it doesn't work now.
There's none. Nobody cares about this stuff when they're focused on identity politics. It's never going to have a good ending.
Crossed, hope for the best. And now you kind of got to wonder some other things about this game, because obviously this is a major problem, and this is something that won't affect most people because most people are going to have the game when it releases for everyone. I can't imagine that many people signed up for the early access copy of the PlayStation 5 version, but even one person is way too many to have this affected by. But here's the thing. When you got a review copy of this game, you got to choose what platform you wanted it on. And everyone went through the same channel that I did. It's a website that Ubisoft has. It's called Ubisoft Creator Program. Lifting the veil because, you know, it is what it is. It's what you actually do. When you signed up to show interest that you wanted to review this game, you had to choose which platform you wanted. I chose Xbox Series S or X. You could choose, you know, Xbox, PlayStation, or...
Don't worry, I make the same mistake. I can't remember what the damn name of an Xbox console is these days. It's the most complicated thing imaginable with Xbox. Their branding has been horrible since the 360. 360 was peak on their branding.
PC. So now I'm thinking to myself, well, wait a minute. If there's a major bug with the PlayStation 5 version of this game, you know, if there's a major bug that limits progression, how did the people playing the PlayStation 5 version of Star Wars Outlaws actually review it? Because this is not something that seems to be very isolated. It literally says, if you continue on a prior save, you will unfortunately face issues and progression blockers.
But hey, that's okay. That's okay because they've given you something. They've given you something. They've given you, right here, an in-game trinket and some loyalty points. So everything's fine. You got no...
Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Turn your brain off. It'll be fine.
Nothing to worry about, ladies and gentlemen. Your game's going to be good. All those hours you put into it because you paid us $110, don't worry about it. We got you covered. We got you covered. Some loyalty points are coming your way. Listen, anybody that paid $110 for this game, you've already been... there's no way that you're not knowledgeable enough to understand how big the problem is within the gaming industry in these AAA titles. You clearly follow this enough, so you're educated enough to know. So it's like... I don't know how you can feel sorry for people that have went out there like and given $110 for early access to Ubisoft and a Lucasfilm project. Like if you listen, you can spend your money how you want to. I've always said, spend your time and your money on whatever you want and never apologize for it. But at some point in time, if you're willing to just give your money to companies that absolutely just despise you, that's fine. I'm just saying I'm not going to feel sorry for you. Because you should know better at this point in time. And if you're still denying the existence that these companies are pieces of shit, then that's on you. Because they are. Ubisoft is a shitty company. Lucasfilm is a shitty company. EA is a shitty company. They just are.
My question is, who's worse now, EA or Ubisoft? Because there is a subreddit years ago that was dedicated to hating EA simply because of Battlefront 2 and the Darth Vader scandal. So, which is worse in this situation, EA or Ubisoft?
Activision's a shitty company. This is not up for debate. It doesn't mean you can't support them and purchase games that like I've bought games from all of those platforms in recent years, but nobody should feel sorry for me if I purchase something and it turns out to be a piece of shit. Nobody. Just like I don't think people should feel sorry for people that have went out of their way to give Ubisoft all your money only to have it all wiped away from you. Because they have proven time and time again that they hate you. They hate the customer. They hate the gamers. They hate the audience. So this is where we are. Star Wars Outlaws is a complete and total shit show on every possible level. And the game hasn't even had a wide release yet. So, whoa. This is going to be a fun one to go through. After the disaster known as the Acolyte was canceled, now you have the disaster known as Star Wars Outlaws, and this is following up off of Obi-Wan Kenobi, another disaster. Mandalorian Season 3, another disaster, and the list goes on and on. Lucasfilm continuing to just produce dog shit on top of dog shit. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.
Most companies are going to be a piece of crap anyway. So just, I guess, choose who you want. I guess who you want to spend your money on, and I guess who's the least worst. I'm just wondering if I guess EA and Ubisoft both are bad. I'm just wondering who is worse than the other. Okay, so picking the poison, yeah. Alright. So now, we're going to okay. I'm now deciding to my co-host on Wednesdays video on Mandela Steinberg, whatever her name is, about Acolyte getting canceled because, shocker, Acolyte deserved to get canceled. It was a piece of trash, and it deserved it. So, sorry, and Mandela Steinberg, but you deserve to get canceled.
We are back chronicling the mayhem that is current Disney Star Wars. As you all know, the Acolyte got cancelled after just one season. Who would have thought that could be possible? People have been going insane online because why? Never mind that the storytelling was terrible. Never mind that the characters were awful, with no logic behind their actions, no motivation, or rather, changing motivation all the time. We had fights that could have been good if they actually made sense. Just looking pretty.
Episode 5 was the best episode. And yeah. Episode 5 was the best because some people actually died. Barely any dialogue at all.
Pretty and cool is not enough. They have to be practical fights and they have to make sense. Anyway, it didn't take long for people to blame the bigots and the...
Shout out to the bigot army and all of us people calling out Disney Star Wars for the past 10 years. Shockingly, it was going to fail. The writing was on the wall, and it failed. Congratulations, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy. You had the biggest failure in Star Wars history. I hope you're happy.
Racists and the phobes as being responsible for the cancellation of this show is...
Yeah, as someone who did watch it, you don't want to watch it. Yeah. I'm also responsible for Acolyte failing. Even though I watched it, I'm responsible for it failing. Thank you. I'm thankfully acknowledged for being a reason a show failed. So I'm happy. Thank you, everyone.
It's not like they didn't attack the fans, they didn't call us names because we didn't like a shit show. We thought this was over, people had their screaming session online, whatever, but no.
Or so we thought.
Amanda Stenberg returned with a video. What is it about? I don't know, because I thought I'd just go ahead and react to it. But the title says it all. Amanda Stenberg posted a video talking about their appreciation for the fans of the Acolyte.
Which, I mean, yeah, appreciation for the Acolyte. Why don't you stop there?
Roberts and Leslie Hetland. Who's they? Oh yeah, because she identifies as non-binary.
Of course she does.
Which does not make sense, but whatever. Sheds light on the outright bigotry and racism that has been ramped up from when the show was announced to today. Anyway, let's watch this.
However,
I'm gonna put this faster because these are different. If you can't keep up, not my fault.
Okay. Okay. Hello. I thought I would get on here and just speak candidly. I hate doing it.
You hate doing it, don't
Yeah. I stopped after Ahsoka. Ahsoka was my last really. I kind of said I would stop. If Ahsoka was bad, I would stop. And I stopped watching. Even Bad Batch, I didn't care to watch season 3. I only watched Acolyte because it was horrendously bad. You could not watch it. You had to watch the train wreck happen. Hello, Nagranol.
do it. Also, what?
Yeah, if you hate making this stuff, why are you making a content like that? If you hate
I
it,
really hate these videos where they are combing their hair or putting on makeup. Like, what is this?
it's to make it seem like you just randomly made a video and it's not all planned. It's disingenuous. Like, oh, I'm gonna look like I just woke up in the morning, decided to brush my hair, and didn't plan this video already. It's all bull crap.
I hate doing this, but I'm gonna do it. I don't use social media very much anymore. And I'm so.
The few times she did were a disaster.
I don't believe you. Because you made a diss track, so you don't use social media, you have time for a diss track while you're in the middle of a show. I don't believe you.
Happy about that. But there are many folks out there that I want to acknowledge and I want to show appreciation and love and support for. So that's why I'm hopping on here to talk about this. Which is that our Star Wars show has been canceled. And
deservedly so.
I'm gonna be transparent and say that it's not a huge shock for me. Of course, I live in the bubble of my own reality, but for those who aren't aware, there's been
Well, Alicia admitted that she lives in the bubble of her own reality. And yes, that's true, because she believes that everything that happens to her is because other people are racist and misogynistic or whatever, when that's not the case. Like, nobody cares about...
One thing I think, I haven't watched this entire video, but one thing I think Sophie forgot to mention is her father is Dutch. So she's half white. Complaining about racism. Why you're half white? What are you talking about? What racism? You're saying, oh, everyone's racist. You are half white. What do you mean racism?
what your skin color is, what you identify as. Nobody freaking cares. You came out at
Well, yeah. Also, she is now technically a co-host as of last night or yesterday. Also, there's that. But yeah, I am watching it because why not? It's Kaepernick syndrome. I mean, the difference is she wasn't adopted. She was actually born into with a Dutch father and a black mother. So she wasn't adopted, but Kaepernick was. But still, same instances. Yeah, why would I not?
Attack the Fans. You know, this track.
Oh, that was next level bad.
Which I can't play because they're always striking people, but
Hey, I didn't get struck. By the way. So maybe I'm built different. I don't know. But when I reacted to it on my live, when I reacted to it on a stream, I didn't get hit. Or when I made a video, I didn't get hit.
what is this? Like attacking the fans from the get-go? Like that did not endear you to people.
Rampage of vitriol that we have faced since the show was even announced, when it was still just a concept and no one had even seen it. And that's when we started experiencing a
Because we saw the writing on the wall.
rampage of, I would say, hyper-conservative.
Hyper.
Oh, of course. It's the conservatives' fault. Oh my gosh.
Conservative. What does that have to do with anything? Also, did you realize that the whole world watches Star Wars, right? Not just the USA. So stop assigning these political sides to the whole world, where every country has completely different values and differences, and where the terms left, right, conservative, liberal, whatever, they all have different meanings in every single culture. There might be a bit of similarities, but there's still differences.
Bigotry and vitriol, prejudice.
Ah, of course. Bigotry, yes. Thank you. I accept the gift of bigotry.
Hatred and
Prejudice.
hateful language towards us.
Hateful language. Hateful language.
Give me 1 second, actually. Speaking of, now that you are a Wednesday night host, you're now a mod. Congratulations, Sophie. You're a mod. Okay. Moving on.
Language. Hateful language? Let's see some of
Yeah. What is this hateful language you say?
the hateful language that they have.
Seriously though, like we get called toxic constantly. Look at these tweets, man.
Fuck Lucasfilm, fuck Disney, fuck everyone that decided that canceling the Acolyte was a good idea. I hope you all fall and get a hip injury.
Wow, you want man?
That's very nice of them, considering they could have said much worse. But why a hip injury?
And the fans of the Acolyte want people who didn't like it to get injured, a hip injury. What?
This one says, of course they don't. The racist, bigoted, and toxic, but this isn't about me, so it's garbage. Star Wars dude bros have won again.
All right. First of all, how sexist and misogynistic is it to think that only dude bros like Star Wars, or rather,
They don't real properly. Okay, That makes sense. But still, it's kind of an oddly specific place. Alright, see you, Sophie, later. I will talk to you later.
Don't like this new Disney Star Wars garbage. So now I'm a dude bro, apparently. Also, this isn't about me
Welcome to the Dude Bro, Sophie.
it's garbage. That's the Acolyte audience. Like, we don't care if we have representation or if somebody looks like us or has the same bits and pieces. We generally do not care. Well, let's continue with the video.
And this really affected me when I first got the job, because it's just not something, even though I anticipated it happening, it's not something you can fully.
Oh yes, good luck, Sophie, with your children that might test your patience later, and you might. Hopefully, you don't cause. Hopefully, not too much pain for that with them, but good luck.
Understand what it feels like until it's happening to you. However, I feel like I've kind of moved through those feelings in various ways, including being vocal about it myself. For me, it just became a situation where there was no option but for me to honor my sense of ethics and my belief system and my value system while being in this very unique position.
What exactly are your ethics and belief systems? The first thing you did when you had criticism was
Shoulder injuries, yeah. So basically, those specific points where they are hard to heal, I guess.
a diss track.
It was kind of like,
Yeah, the diss track. Remember that?
I had this very unique experience of experiencing the world at large, which is, of course, hyper divisive right now.
Yes, and it's people like Amandala and people like Mark Hamill and people like everybody at Star Wars, Lucasfilm, Disney, Star Wars, whatever, who fired Gina Carano, who make it divisive because they are the ones that are drawing the lines in sand. And if you cross it, then oh my god, that is a problem.
Through the lens of this very, very unique opportunity of being in Star Wars. And it brought up a lot for me, a lot socio-political dynamics, a lot about my own value system, how I respond to that kind of hatred.
With the diss track.
The world at large.
With a very cringe diss track, I might add. It would have been fun if the diss track, was actually good, but it was cringe.
And it just became inarguable for me at a certain point that in order to continue to be myself, I would have to honor my value system by being vocal even within the context.
You already said that.
Working for Disney and working,
is she repeating herself?
Within the large, massive IP that is Star
Wars.
Oh.
Wait, did I hear that right?
You already said that.
Working for Disney and working within the large, within the large.
Oh, she's a cat person. Oh no.
Massive IP that is Star Wars. On that topic, I just have to say it has been an incredible honor and dream for me to be in this universe. It still feels, even though, of course, I'm very sad about the show being canceled, and I'm sad about us not being able to give people who are invested into it more, because they'll just feel a lot of levity and joy around the fact that I got to experience it, and that people.
Nobody's taken away that you had, you played a part in one of the biggest IPs. Nobody's taken away that you had fun, that you liked it, but you are the one who started attacking people after they voiced their displeasure, unless you are the only person allowed an opinion. If she had said,
yeah, we're not taking away that the fact that you actually enjoyed your time and you got to live basically the biggest set goal that most people have is to be in Star Wars. And hey, the thing is, we don't hate it. We actually said that the Lee Jung Jae who played Master Soul was the best part of that entire series. Because he's the only well-known character first off. And he was like he was the best part of that show. It's like, I mean, we're not hating you for enjoying your time. We're hating you for the response you say after the fact.
silent, then nobody would care. Like, look at Manny Jacinto. A lot of people actually liked his character. He's a very
Oh yes, the Smilo Ren guy as well.
good actor. The story was just shit, but he hasn't attacked the fans yet. Hopefully that will stay true. So nobody.
I would trust the Korean actor to not attack the fans because in Korea and in Asia, they don't attack the fans, and even if they get a bad product, they say thank you for watching. Well, anyway, they thank the fans, and that's it. They don't go on a hate parade. They maybe say if they get hate for playing it when people forget that they're just an actor. They say don't hate me because of who the character I played. Outside that, they don't hate the fans. They just, unless there's actually a good reason to do that. If they hate the fans, there's actually a justifiable reason, like the fans are going too much, or they're actually doing something that's actually not okay. Then, but outside that, they just say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and that's all they say.
He has a beef with him, but you did an awful. Let's remember an awful diss track, and
it was horrendous.
And you're not allowed to get criticism for it.
People loved it, and that people were so responsive. I poured through a lot of different iterations of fan art and ship art and fan theories and things
ships.
that were just.
No, why? Why? Don't disgrace that people like that. I mean, I would argue it's not fanfic, it's hate fic, since this entire show was made by hate for Star Wars, not love.
So beautiful and filled my heart with joy. And I just want to let those people know out there who supported us in that way, and supported us vocally, despite and in the face of all of the vitriol that we received.
Of course.
And kind of the targeted attack, I would say, we received by the alt-right. Just
the alt-right. The alt-right.
We were deeply loved and appreciated. And
now, here's the thing. Is there a group of fans that liked the Acolyte? Yes. Nobody's...
It's a small minority, but yes, there are people that actually enjoyed it. And alt-right, really, that's the best you got. But yes, there's people that like the Acolyte. Is it enough to actually make it deserve a season 2? No, it's a minority.
Saying there just weren't enough. Why was the show cancelled? Due to low viewership. Viewership dove after episode 2. A lot of people tuned into the first one because even though a lot of people shitted on it before it started, there was still this hope that, hey, maybe this will be interesting.
We had hope that maybe, just maybe, it would have been a good show. Unfortunately, we were wrong.
So a lot of people tuned into the first episode. The first episode was trash. First few episodes of The Acolyte were not very good.
It made this job all the worthwhile for me, and it made all of
still 4 minutes.
The challenging elements of
There's
it.
8 minutes of this.
And so that's plus my love of sci-fi and fantasy and being able to be a part of the legacy.
I do debate that.
Deeply value and something that means so much to me and I've looked up to for so long. So
no, again, loving what you do, is that bad? No. Happy for you that you liked what you did, that you appreciated your fans. Not happy that you attacked the people that just didn't like the story.
I also just want to say thank you to Lucasfilm for just being a fucking awesome team. They were so wonderful to work with, and just everybody that I worked with in Lucasfilm, but particularly Rain Roberts, my producer, was just had such like vision and hope and like such a mission for what we were going to continue bringing into the sci-fi universe, into the Star Wars universe. And it was a really beautiful, energizing.
Same.
And I have to thank Leslie Headland, who I just fucking love that bitch.
Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, let's not forget.
Yeah, the former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein. FYI.
That.
She's my friend. She's just one of the best people in the world. I think
Is
she's
she
so
though?
Is she? Is she really?
talented and unique and kind. And I'll love her forever. And I love this experience with her forever.
Very questionable, but
I also just want to thank everybody who watched it. Thank you for being so loving and supportive and excited and
that's
nerdy
nice.
and awesome. And
I did not enjoy
I
it.
need to process this for a long time.
Just
The
FYI.
last thing I want to say on the subject is that we all exist in the context of the world in which we live. But I'm serious. It's not lost on me how the way that these events have unfolded is also due to the hyper-divisiveness of the time that we live in, that is driven, I would say at this point, by echo chambers of thought and algorithms.
Didn't you just admit you lived in one? You lived in an echo chamber, you bit.
That reinforce our biases. And I think that applies to everybody. But I think that in a particular sect of people, it manifests as a lot of fear for what is changing, and a lot of hatred for anything that is other. And
fear for what? Bad storytelling?
That would be my thought, yeah.
And hatred for what? Bad stories? This is our problem. We don't like bad stories.
Yes. Yeah, sorry we hate bad storytelling and don't just take any slop we get and want actually good story.
Challenge us all, and challenge myself to continue questioning what it is that I digest, and think critically about what shapes it. And let's vote, y'all. Let's vote. Let's vote.
Let's vote.
I think that's all I have to say. Well, this is 10 minutes long. We'll see if I post this. Bye.
Yeah, I could have done without the kiss. Alright, so she...
So she made it political at the end. Of course she did. Yeah, what you gonna do about it, Negrinol? I've seen your pictures with ABF. I know.
That I would let's vote? I wonder what she means about that. Again, not the whole world is the US. In summary, thank you fans for watching. Very nice. I am thankful to everyone who gave me an opportunity to work in this giant IP. Very nice. But everything was the fault of the bigots and the racism and oh my god. That part was not needed.
You could have just said thank you to everyone who watched the show, even if you didn't like it. And that's it. You could have just stopped, but she cannot help herself. She had to say racist, misogyny, what else? Bigotry.
Have even got back into people's good graces if you would have only just thanked the fans. But no, you had to do a mini diss inside that video. Also, let's remember, why was this cancelled? Not because Lucasfilm listened to the Chads or to people who didn't like it.
They claimed they listened to us, the Chuds, the YouTube grifters, hello, the alt-right people, the alt-right grifters. Yeah, Lucasfilm has been secretly listening to us for the past 10 years, clearly. That's why they fired Gina Carano. That's why The Last Jedi exists. That's why the Acolyte exists. Clearly, because they listen to us. No. They don't care. They don't listen to us. They hate us. You guys give us way too much credit. Or Lucasfilm way too much, I guess.
Quite the contrary.
Man, they made a show from top to bottom specifically for these weirdos. With look at there it is, pronouns in bio from this weirdo. This show from the beginning to the end, from every piece of marketing, from every piece of casting, from the lack of character development, because we know weirdos like this don't like character development.
Yep, zero.
Yeah, they want the same character to be boring and stale and the same thing. That's probably why they like Rey so much.
Character development.
Aspect of this show was catered to these people, and it failed miserably. Why? It's not because they didn't watch it. Oh, the weirdos watched it. The weirdos were all in. The reason it failed is because there's not a lot of those weirdos compared to the normal Star Wars fans.
There's not enough of those weirdos to continue making a show and to deserve a second season.
Yep, and remember that they made this video of There Are More of Us, which I cannot find anywhere, so it probably got deleted. I like this meme, right? Don't like it, don't watch it, baby.
I do believe it did get deleted because one of them actually committed identity theft, actually, in that video.
Right. Alright, fine, we won't watch it. The Acolyte canceled because nobody watched it. Why would we get the Star Wars fans do this? So if there are more of you, then why was this the lowest Star Wars show with the lowest viewership? Let's take a look. Personal, heartfelt series of stories shared on Instagram. Open about the intense backlash and negativity the series faced, both before and after its release.
Hello.
After its release, because it was shit, and we were all proven right.
The fans again are proven right as always.
Untimely cancellation. Okay, here is just what she said in the video. Hyper-conservative bigotry, betrayal, prejudice, hatred, and hateful language. Anyway, that's all. I'm leaving. Bye. This was Chronicling Mayhem. I hope you have fun. I'll see you in another video. Bye.
All the ladies chronicling mayhem. She spins her tales with bright light, where dragons dance and heroes fight in the heart of a moonlit night.
All right, so yeah. So if you have a chance, go watch Sophie's video. I have posted the link in chat, and maybe give her a subscribe because she's good. So yeah, hey, we have a few minutes left, so we're going to actually watch something good. Actually, two things good. So I have this tab for actually good something decent. So
따라해볼까요? 정의는 죽었다. 그러니까 내가 직접 지옥으로 보내줄게. 사악하지만 사랑스럽다. SBS 금토 드라마 지옥에서 온 판사.
okay, there's that, and here we go over here. How is that sus? What do you mean? Yeah, I had the link already set. I already shared, so I was ready to post it. I mean, there's no English subtitles, so it sounds weird. What do you mean? Okay. So here's something okay, here's, unlike the Acolyte, here's something that actually deserved a second season.
언제부터였을까? 모든 것이 희미해졌다.
어째서 당신이 여기 있는 거지? 장대주.
내 이름은 장호재입니다.
끝나지 않을 건가? 이 지옥이.
안녕. 언제까지 이 짓을 계속할 거야? 근데 방금 이름 하나가 생각났어.
내가 진짜로 무서운 게 뭔지 아시오? 이 희망 없는 세상에서 무언가를 꿈꾸기 시작하는 거요.
Alright, that's something to yeah, okay, Korean, yeah, whatever. My point is, it's something that actually, you know, unlike the Acolyte, deserved a second season. Shocking. The thing is, wait. Most most of these shows don't actually get a second season. Okay, sure this. Yeah. So, yeah, they do like their. It was actually first season was good. They're good at horror. My favorite, actually. My favorite show is actually an apocalyptic K-drama. My favorite K-drama is an apocalyptic one. So
다시 돌아갈 수 있을까?
발병 횟수가 늘면 그 정신이 완전히 무너지거든요.
피야. 우리만 입 다물고 단결해서 별거 아닌 걸 하면 돼.
아파트에 광이병 퍼지고 있습니다.
피냄새 맡으면 발병 더 심해져요.
사람들 몇몇이 서로 물어뜯고 죽이는 것보다
빨리 문제라!
먹고 사는 문제가 더 중요하다는 거죠.
사람이라면 최소한의 책임감이라도 가져보시죠.
yeah, so mean. Yeah, so they're good at this stuff. There's a lot of horror, apocalyptic. I mean, the thing is, also, K-dramas, they're notoriously known for, not getting a second season, but when they do, they're usually good. So, yeah. All right. What else we got? There's that, yeah. Yeah, let's check what. Not exact. I mean, it could be, but also difference between Korea and Asia entertainment is that they make a show with a plan for one season only, and usually those shows have a perfect ending, so there's no reason for a second season. And this one and a few others are a few exceptions where there actually is plans for a second season or they get a second season. Like Squid Game is one, which I am curious if it's going to be as good as the first one, or if it's still going to be as successful because so many have come out after. But I think it also is network. Because I mean, most of them are distributed under a Korean TV network, which is usually TVN or Studio Dragon. I mean, I showed the Alchemy of Souls last week. Has some good fight scenes and just in general. So usually, it's usually the fact that they make one season planned, and that's all. And it's because most shows are like at least the highest probably 24 episodes, and each episode's an hour as well, so they have enough time to make up one season and wrap everything up. Where there's no real reason for a second season. Also, there are some, like, specifically on Netflix and stuff, there are some of the stories that they actually do it a weekly release, so you have, like, 2 episodes a week. So, there's also that, where it's, like, 2 episodes, an hour each, so it's like you have, I think they release it one to Saturday and one Sunday as well. But most of the shows, most of the dramas that they make, there's no real reason for a second season. Like the trailer I just showed, it had a perfect ending, so there was no real reason for a second season. There obviously was a reason for a second season. Usually, but the difference is they actually have enough viewership where they could make a second season if they wanted to or not. So, if they want to make a second season, they usually will, but most of the time, there's no real reason for a second season to happen. All right. With that said, this is the end of the live stream for today. I will see y'all Monday, where I talk about Rings of Power, because the first episode comes out today, and from what I hear, it is absolute garbage. So I will see you then, where my brain is in pain after watching Rings of Power. See you Monday.
Welcome to the Blizzard Arena.
And the quest for a champion begins today.
The anticipation has been building, and it is finally time. We are live.
That is a really.
Can you get over the roof there?
Oh my!
Oh my! What a play! What a grab!
Another jump here on high ground. Super goes forward, but gets stuck up. The EMP comes in, and ding! He rains down hell from above.
Here comes Pine. Gets one, gets two. Looking for a bit more, gets another one.
Tuno's down again. That heralds disaster generally for the Fusion, and Carpe wasn't far behind. Prophet! He's killed 4 players now on his own.
From Vancouver, locks him in the sound barrier. Sound.
It's a huge bomb coming in from Jono. Oh my God! He does it again.
Flutter now moving onto the Widowmaker, taking the clutch into his own hands. The headshot after headshot after headshot.
Okay, I like this for the Gladiators. We're gonna try and circle around. I'm gonna call this the merry-go-round because it makes me laugh. Makes me happy. And Sean Paul switches to the Widowmaker at just the right time. Oh, the Gravy!
every single one.
Oh my word!
I mean, you could have told me that you spoke English, honestly.
The fans never thought they'd see this day. It took 43 matches. Feels like a really emotional moment here.